Hello everyone, how are you? It's not one, not two, or even three. There are 7 types of syrup for cakes. Now your problem is really going to be solved, okay? Look at this amazing gift. I'm going to show you seven types of syrup, from the most basic to the one you might think is unnecessary just because the cake is lemon flavored. But it really is necessary. I'm going to teach you everything. So join me for the step-by-step recipe. Let's go. I'm going to start with the first syrup. For the first syrup, here I have 1 cup of filtered water, half a cup of sugar or 85 grams, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. And I'm going to talk to you a little about that essence in a moment. This syrup is the traditional one, so it's good for any type of cake, sponge cake, or butter cake. But it's for a neutral sponge cake, a neutral butter cake without any flavoring, okay? Even this vanilla I showed you is the dark vanilla. So if you want to make a syrup that doesn't add color, use white vanilla, all right? So come on, get in close now because I'm going to show you the step-by-step. Come with me. All syrups follow the same sequence. So I'm going to put the water here, which is 1 cup, half a cup of sugar, and we're going to bring it to a boil. Let me turn on the heat. And look everyone, I'm going to let it boil. When it starts to boil, it's just to dissolve the sugar. When the sugar dissolves, it starts to boil. Then I turn off the heat and add the essence. This takes about 2 minutes. Let's do it. It boiled, it's ready. There's no sugar left at the bottom. I'm going to turn off the heat and add the essence. By doing this, I'll better preserve the flavor of my essence and it won't evaporate. And now you just have to put it here in the bowl so it can cool down. I put it here and just let it cool so I can bottle it. I'll explain how to bottle it in a moment. You have to stay until the end because I'm going to explain how to bottle and actually how to store it since it needs to cool down. All syrups are the same. So let's move on to the next one now. Come here, okay? For the chocolate syrup, now I have here 1 cup of water, half a cup of sugar, and also half a cup of cocoa powder, 50% cocoa. Into the pot, let's go. My water, which is 1 cup. I'm also adding the sugar and the cocoa all at once. I'm going to turn on the heat now. Here we go. Mix it a bit too, look until it dissolves. When it starts to boil and there's no powder left here, it's ready. Look, it boiled, it's ready. I'm going to take it off the heat now. You don't need to reach any particular consistency, okay everyone? Oh, it's very thin. And now I'm going to put it in the bowl so it can cool down before bottling. I'll leave it here to cool, and at the end, I'll show you how it turns out. You're going to use the chocolate topping for all chocolate cakes. So for example, Prestigio, which has a chocolate base, Brigadero, Black Forest. And now we're going to make a Niño topping, which is for cakes that also have Niño milk in the batter. Or it doesn't really matter because it's so delicious you can put it on any other type of cake, especially in jar cakes. For the Niño topping, here I also have 1 cup of water, half a cup of sugar, and half a cup or 50 grams of powdered milk, okay? I'm using Niño here. So let's get started. The same, so let's go. Water, then I add the sugar and the powdered milk. I'm going to turn on the heat. When it boils, it's ready. Let's do it. I turn it on, mix a little, and as soon as it boils, I turn it off. All right, look, it's already boiled. I'm going to turn it off. So is it ready now? Yes, it's ready. All set. And now we're going to let it cool so we can bottle it. I'm going to make a coconut syrup that's so delicious. It's great for chilled cakes, okay? Or for a cake that has coconut milk in the batter and it turns out delicious. So it's perfect for a chilled cake. Look, it's also really good for cake in a cup. So come over here because now I'm going to show you the ingredients. Here I have half a cup of water and 3 to 4 tablespoons of condensed milk, all right? A tablespoon or 50 grams. And here, half a small bottle of coconut milk or 100 milliliters. Same thing, I add the water, the coconut milk, and also the condensed milk. So look, I'm going to mix it, okay everyone? Let me get everything out of here. We're going to mix until it boils. I'm going to turn on the heat. Stir it, and when it boils and is ready, just turn it off. It boiled, it's ready. I'm hanging up now and we're leaving. This is passion fruit sauce, and of course, it's for passion fruit cake. There's no way I'd put it on any other kind, okay? You can also make a cold cake, a passion fruit tart with a sponge cake base. It's going to turn out so delicious, and it's so easy to make, folks. Just look at the ingredients here. Here I have 1 cup of water, half a cup of sugar, and the pulp of 1 passion fruit, in this case a large passion fruit. So here I have the pulp. Now I'm going to boil everything together, the water and the sugar. Now let's leave it like that. Once it starts boiling, leave it there for about 2 more minutes so the passion fruit flavor really comes out. So I'm going to turn on my stove and it's ready. Let's wait for it to boil. Look here, it's already started to boil. I'll leave it just 1 more minute, okay? To really extract the passion fruit flavor, and then I'll take it off the heat. So just 1 more minute here. I'm going to strain it here because I don't want the seeds in my syrup. So look here. Here, guys, look, run the spoon through. I've already made a mess. I've started spilling everything. But anyway, run the spoon well and let's get all this pulp out of here. Look at this beautiful syrup, huh? Now I'm going to wait for it to cool down. And now we still need our orange syrup, which is also used for orange cakes. Look, I already have a sensational fluffy orange cake on the channel. You can use this syrup on that cake or on a Genoese orange sponge cake or on any other type of homemade orange cake where the syrup can also be used. So look, for this one you're going to need half a cup of water, 1 cup of orange juice, and half a cup of refined sugar. In the same way as we did with the others, I'm now adding the water, orange juice, and sugar. Mix a little and let it come to a boil. Once it starts boiling, it's ready and there's no need to strain it. Just pour it into your bowl as well and let it cool. How about the citrus syrup now for that little lemon cake? How delicious. So let's get started. Take a look here. You're going to need 1 cup of water, the juice of 2 large lemons or about 70 milliliters, okay? And half a cup of sugar. So here I'm also adding the water together with the lemon juice all together and the sugar. I'm going to bring it to a boil. Once it boils, it's ready. So let's get started. I turned on my stove, give it a little stir, and let it come to a boil. Look here, it's already boiling. There's no more sugar at the bottom, so I'm going to turn off the heat and also strain it because there are bits of lemon, all right? Now I'm straining it. Just look at that. To use it, I like to work with these squeeze bottles here, okay guys? I buy several of these and you can also store it right in here. So look, I'm going to put my funnel in and pour in the syrup. I hope it doesn't spill. Let's do this very carefully. Also wait for the syrup to cool down. So let's go. I'm pouring it in. Now I put the lid on and I can store it like this in the fridge. And now I'm going to talk about the shelf life of syrups. If you don't have several squeeze bottles to keep your syrups ready, you can store them in a small bowl, but it must have a lid and it will keep for 5 days in the fridge. Look at how good that shelf life is for you. And by putting it here, folks, I have about 250 milliliters of syrup. So all these syrups yield about that much, between 250 and 300 milliliters. That amount will be enough to soak a 20 centimeter diameter cake, and you can cut it into 2 layers. So look, you can work just fine like this. Of course, if your cake is bigger, you can double or triple the amount of syrup. Just don't forget that it has a shelf life of 5 days. Did you notice how different the channel is now? It's full of techniques. I'm gathering on this channel every possible and imaginable pastry technique just so you can become a professional in the field. See you in the next class, guys. Bye-bye.